Hello, welcome to the Hong Kong Greek Gastronomy and Diet Festival. I'm Dimitrios Michalis, I'm visiting professor in the School of Hotel and Tourism Management. And we are working together with all my colleagues at the university, at Hong Kong Polytechnic University, and the Food and Wine Academy to bring together some amazing Greek chefs and to demonstrate the Greek gastronomy. I'm here today with my good colleague Perlin, Associate Professor in the school, and also Michelle Lau from
Nutrilicious. It means nutritious and delicious.
So we're here today to start this series by explaining to you a little bit about the Greek gastronomy and also to look into how the Greek gastronomy can actually fit into the Asian culture and how Chinese people in Hong Kong and different places would enjoy the Greek food and will enjoy the Greek gastronomy. It is wonderful to have this opportunity to do that here, and we've invited several chefs to actually share with us their recipes and their passion for food. And you'll see in this series, you'll see 8 chefs that they're going to have a conversation with us with different colleagues here, and then they will have a demo of one of the things that they would like to actually cook for us and to showcase the Greek food. So, let me welcome my colleagues here and my friends and have a conversation.
Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you for having us.
So, Michelle, your company is about nutrition and delicious, right? What do we
Yes.
call it?
Nutrilicious.
Nutritious. And I invited Michelle because we were she did a very nice seminar on Mediterranean food, and she did a fantastic job at explaining to people in Hong Kong how they can eat wonderful food from the Mediterranean region. And I said to Michelle, do you know enough about the Greek food? And she's done her research. And
Thanks to you.
She's on her way to Greece sometime soon to travel and enjoy the authentic experience from there. So, Michelle, what do you find? What is the Greek food that you feel that is the most appropriate and the most welcoming for the Chinese people?
I mean, of course, with my background in nutrition and health, I would say the Greek cuisine is of course one of the healthiest cuisines in the world. It's based largely of lots of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, fish, healthy fats, and the proteins are mainly of plant-based sources such as lentils, and legumes. So all of these are basically basis of a healthy diet.
Mm. What comes to your mind when we're talking about Greek cuisine? What's the first thing that comes to your mind, or what do you think you're gonna have if you were to eat Greek?
For myself,
Yeah.
I would start with olive oil, feta cheese, Greek yogurt, right? So how about Michelle? What would you recommend Hong Kong diner? What would they eat in Greek cuisine? I mean, how can we introduce Greek cuisine to Chinese diner or Hong Kong diner?
I think olive oil is of course one of the main added fat source to the diet, and it's also of course known to have a lot of health benefits such as anti-inflammatory and also protective of the heart. And Hong Kong people are increasingly using olive oil in their cooking, whether it's for preparing cold dishes or also for cooking food, braising foods, or maybe just pan frying seafoods. So it's not only a main source of fats in the Greek cuisine, but also people in Hong Kong and Chinese people are also increasingly adopting the olive oil in their daily diets.
Fantastic. Is there anything else you would introduce like Hong Kong diner to use Greek ingredient in their normal cooking, like in the home cooking?
I think garlic, and because it's also one of the ingredients that is common to us Hong Kong people, and it of course not only adds flavors, but also it gives added nutrition value to the dish. Of course, the sulfur compound that is found in garlic not only gives it the taste or the odor, but it also provides anti-cancer possibly, and also antibacterial properties to the dish. So we also use it for different types of cooking. Maybe it's like stir fry vegetables or other dishes that you might have come across. So garlic is quite common also in both Greek cuisine and also Hong Kong Chinese dishes.
Fantastic. When I go around, and I see in wet markets, in different places, all the ingredients, I kind of, first of all, most of the ingredients are recognizable. So all your meats and the fish that you have here, and you've got so much fish. I think Hong Kong is the paradise for seafood. But when you go to the restaurant and you have these things, of course you cook them in a different way. The Greeks will primarily grill things, or they will cook with primarily two things: tomato sauce or lemon juice. So when they're grilling things, they'll add some lemon juice, or if they put something in the oven, quite often will be with a little bit of olive oil, garlic, oregano, and lemon, and then they leave it to rest there for an hour or 2 hours. The way that Chinese cooking is done is a very, very different way of doing it.
Yeah. In Chinese cuisine, we use a lot of steam method, right? So what would you think of in Chinese cuisine, and then with Greek ingredient, how can we incorporate into our cooking?
Yes, you're right, Dr. Lin. I mean, steaming is one of the main methods for cooking seafood in Hong Kong. It's also quite simple and convenient, which I think the aspect of this is also relatable to the Greek cuisine, because the whole Greek cuisine is about, social gathering, eating with families, and also a lot of home-based ingredients, which can be easily, of course, adapted to the Chinese dishes, especially the seafood dishes.
Okay, and now we kind of warm up the conversation. Have you seen any of the Greek foods? Have you cooked any of the Greek foods? What kind of, what would you like to cook, and what kind of ingredients are you going to use, and why?
I like to make simple dishes because people in Hong Kong, like myself, are time poor. So I've made, of course, variations of different Greek salads. Salata. Usually it's just
Salata, you say that so nicely. Say it again.
Thank you, salata. So it means salad, in case people don't know. So of course, Greek salad is this mix of feta cheese, olives, tomatoes, cucumbers. If I miss any ingredients, let me know.
No, but you need to specify the olives.
Okay, olives.
The best olives are coming from Kalamata region.
Kalamata.
Because I'm coming from Kalamata as well. And I'm
The best of the best.
The best of the best. And actually, I'm producing some Kalamata olives. My family has got some Kalamata trees. So I think when people are going out to buy olives, they should not say Greek olives. They should say Kalamata olives.
Kalamata.
And when they get olive oil, they should have Kalamata olive oil, because it's the best.
Okay, I learned
And they
something.
should also go to Kalamata because it's a beautiful place.
I will start getting my olives from you.
Yeah.
So all these mix of colorful vegetables, of course, are rich in different nutrients, vitamins, phytochemicals, and carotenoids. All of these are good for health. And just with a drizzle of olive oil, or if you like added kick, then maybe Greek yogurt for added proteins. So that's usually how I like my salata.
Would you put yogurt in your salata?
Yes.
My mom wouldn't approve. But you can have feta cheese, or you can have some of the other cheeses.
As a dressing, so I use it as
Make a
dressing.
yogurt dressing.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, that's very good. We heard yesterday that one of the hotels here is using Greek yogurt to marinate all the meats for their Indian restaurant. And I hadn't appreciated that the Indian cuisine includes a lot of Greek yogurt.
Indeed. I think they use a lot for marinade and then for the grill. Yeah, so that make it the Indian cuisine taste so good. So what do you see if we use yogurt to eat along with honey? How would you see the nutrition value for this in the Greek culture?
I think it's just healthy. Of course, the yogurt is just fermented dairy, so it contains a lot of healthy probiotics, and it's also a good source of protein. But mind you, Greek yogurt is not the same as Greek style yogurt that we see in the markets. A lot of people who want to be healthy or want to build muscle, they often might get mixed up between Greek style yogurt and Greek yogurt, but they're not the same. If you want the best nutrition value product, you have to look for Greek yogurt.
Can you say that again on camera? Please say that again on camera, yes?
You have to look for Greek yogurt.
Fantastic.
Not Greek style yogurt,
Yes.
right? Okay. What is the main difference between these two?
Greek style yogurt is just a regular type of yogurt that doesn't contain as much protein, and usually it's also a lot of added sugar. But the Greek yogurt is naturally high in protein and lower in a lot of sugar and added ingredients. Ingredients that are, of course, bad for the body is maybe jam or some kind of fruit purees.
No, please. Have Greek honey with the Greek yogurt and a little bit of nuts, either pistachio nuts or walnuts or almonds. It's totally natural because it's natural sugars from the honey.
No season.
There's no, because any jam will have a lot of,
Yes.
Yep.
34% will be sugar, right?
Yes.
So if you have Greek yogurt and you've got Greek honey and you've got some nuts, whatever nut you have, you have got a fantastic the fantastic dessert that you can have. That can be lunchtime, can be dinner time, and also a lot of people are having that as breakfast.
Yes.
They may have with a little bit of cereal.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've got Greek yogurt as the base.
Yeah.
You've got cereal on top, and if you want sweetness, you use natural sweetness from the honey. That gives you a fantastic kind of thing.
Yeah.
Great suggestions.
So, Michelle, what do you think of 0% fat of Greek yogurt and then compare with the normal yogurt? Because I do feel the taste of 0% fat Greek yogurt is also tastes really good too.
I think it's just a matter of your lifestyle and your weight goals and of course your health conditions. People, of course, who are wary of their waistline, or they might have certain health conditions, they might need to be wary of their fat intake. But it's up to you to decide if you want 2% low fat or reduced fat product. But in general, I would recommend people to choose reduced fat dairy products.
Okay, Perry, you're a chef, so you're cooking different types of ways, and you've cooked in different kind of cuisines in different regions of the world. Do you know what's the difference between the Greek cooking methods and the Chinese cooking methods?
Okay, I think in Greek cooking method, you use a lot of grill. So put things on the top of the grill to grill seafood, and you also use a lot of oven to bake, right? But in Chinese cuisine, I think for us, we use a lot of steaming method, and then also quick stir fry method. Yes. So I think these two are big difference because in Chinese cuisine, we do not use oven at all. Yeah, so we use steam considered to be healthy style of cooking, right? But I don't know, what do you think of Greek cuisine then?
Well, I mean, I grew up in a situation where my mom will take a bit of meat and put it on a big tray with a lot of potatoes, and actually take it to the oven or the bakery, and the baker will do it for you. Then we had better ovens at home, and if you had a big celebration and you were cooking for 10, 20 people, you will bake, because that will not take a big,
Space
2 or 3 chickens or a big piece of lamb or whatever. And that's a very, very traditional way of doing it. I think the key ingredient in Greece, and I think that is actually it characterizes most of the Greek cooking, is that it's based on tomato or on lemon.
That's very good.
And actually you cannot mix the two. You're either going to be on a
Lemon side?
sauce
Okay.
or a tomato sauce. And between that, there's clear water. You know, there's,
Okay.
you don't
No,
go between.
no combine.
Yeah. Because of this,
Yeah.
most of the ingredients are lower fat. The fat that you use is olive oil.
Yeah.
And then you'll use the herbs, the fresh
Herbs.
I was lucky to grow up in a house rather than a flat. So my mom will have her herbs in the garden, and she will collect basil from the garden, oregano, different things, and actually use them straight
Very
there.
lucky.
Yeah.
Yes.
And actually, when I was very young, we even had chicken in Athens, which is very unusual. But she had enough chicken to be able to produce enough eggs to feed us.
That's wonderful. That's farm to table.
Yeah.
Yes, totally.
Absolutely. Zero distance. 3 meters.
3 meters.
But that, you know, in the big cities you cannot do it. But the minute you go out of the cities, which is Athens, about 5 million people, but nothing to compare when you compare Chinese cities, you know, like Chengdu or Guilin, or you know, even secondary and third level cities, they are almost much bigger than the entire country of Greece. So you've got a lot of land and you've got a lot of seaside where you can do a lot of fishing. And the most wonderful thing you can do is go fishing and take the fish and grill it on the spot.
Very nice.
And we've got Mariana, one of the chefs. Her father was a fisherman, and what she was describing was that the father will go out, catch fish, and the good-looking fish and the A fish is going to go to the restaurants and the tavernas. And of course, they'll eat at home what didn't look very good as a fish, right? But she was explaining, they had the taverna, and she was explaining how to grill fish. And you'll see that on when that video comes into play.
Yeah. So I believe the Greek cuisine consists of a lot of seafood and fish.
Yeah.
So that's very good because it's obviously good for our healthy heart, brain, and eye development or maintenance. And the American Heart Association recommends healthy adults to eat at least 2 servings of fish weekly. So I believe you have no problem with that.
There's a lot of because it's seaside everywhere, and you can have fantastic fish-based. But the easiest and the nicest thing is to get fresh fish, grill it, a little bit of olive oil.
I'm so hungry. I'm sorry.
A little bit of lemon, and a little bit of sea salt, and a little bit of oregano, if you like oregano. And you're done.
That's it.
It's very simple, but also nutritious and delicious.
So, ladies,
I have a question for Michelle.
Yeah.
So when you heard from what professors, their Greek cuisine, how they do the seasoning for the seafood, right? But how about in our Chinese cuisine? What do you think? Is there any idea we can apply in our Chinese seafood? That, for example, we do the steaming, right? And usually in Hong Kong, how do we do all the seasoning for the seafood?
Seasoning, unfortunately, we might rely on some of the sauces, maybe soy sauce, oyster sauce, and black bean sauce, and the likes. But of course, people in Hong Kong are increasingly health conscious, so they are also adopting maybe just light seasoning with sea salt, also pepper and other herbs, Chinese type herbs to enhance the flavors of the dishes.
So perhaps next time we can use lemon and oregano with olive oil to season our steamed seafood, right? Fantastic.
And I know that you're a consultant to many restaurants and many places. What would you recommend to them in terms of, now you've kind of looked into Greek cuisine, what would you recommend to restaurants and hotels to include in their menu?
I would say all the staples foods in the Greek cuisines can be applied to all of the restaurants, Western restaurants mainly, of course, because it offers, of course, abundance of nutrients. But not only that, it can be enhanced. The flavors can be enhanced easily with tomato sauce, lemons, or different herbs and spices. And seafood, of course, because we're in Hong Kong and it's a coastal city, we can get seafood no problems. So a lot of seafood dishes can also then be developed.
The other thing that a lot of people do not necessarily associate is vegetarian food and vegan food. Because for many, many years, the Greek cuisine and the gastronomy was based on a lot of vegetarian things because it was on the land and was cheaper and accessible for people to actually cultivate in their land. And also in the Greek Orthodox tradition, on Wednesday and on Friday, you are fasting. So you can primarily eat vegetarian food. And also for 40 days before Christmas, 40 days before Easter, you're also supposed to fast.
Wow.
And because of that, the Greek cuisine is very, very rich as far as vegetarian and vegan options are available, with a lot of vegetables cooked on tomato sauce and served, especially in the summertime when the temperature is quite high. Having some kind of vegetarian food with feta cheese and Kalamata olives with some fresh bread is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned, because vegetarians or vegan diet people, they can easily enjoy Greek cuisine, because for proteins, which is harder to get if you're a vegan, but if you're vegetarians or even vegans, you can get it from a lot of chickpeas, lentils, which are the basis of a Greek diet. And also, if you're a vegetarian who are allowed to eat dairy products, then of course you can enjoy feta cheese and also yogurt. Then your diet will be also more balanced.
Is there any particular type of vegetarian dish you want to introduce to us from Greek cuisine?
I always liked okra.
Okra.
We call it bamyes.
Okay.
And when I came to Hong Kong first time 20 years ago, I saw bamyes. I saw okra being served in restaurants, but they are served dry and almost kind of you eat them with no sauce. You eat them on their own.
Yeah.
And for the first time, I appreciated the okra being on its own. But the way we will eat it is you will cook it with tomato sauce, and it's absolutely wonderful. But apparently there's a technique, so whoever is cooking that needs to be aware of, because the okra has got this saliva.
Yeah, that's right.
Slimy.
So what you need to do is you need to kind of dip them in vinegar first, so they dry of that, and then then you can cook it and you can enjoy it. But this is something that my mom will cook.
Okay.
On a summer, it's only seasonal. That's the other thing about the Greek cuisine. It's only seasonal. So people will not eat tomatoes in the winter time because they know that the tomatoes are not going to be nice.
Right?
They're not in season.
Yeah.
Now, of course, increasingly you have got all kind of cultivation techniques and you eat. But in the old good days, you wouldn't eat anything that was out of season.
True.
So bamyes, okra will be in the summertime.
Okay.
When the temperature is quite hot. So normally my mom will cook it in the morning, will have it later on, and will be almost served cold, because the Greeks do not eat as hot as a lot of you guys are eating. And they don't eat spicy either. That's something that's really interesting. A lot of Hong Kong cooking, a lot of Chinese, and especially Sichuan, is quite spicy. That the Greeks do not eat spicy food. There are very few Greeks that eat spicy food. So it's all about
Original
simplicity,
flavor,
original and mild kind of taste. But it's authentic, it's fresh, it's seasonal, and it's cooked with love and passion. I think that is really important. Cooked with passion and love, and care for the people that you are cooking for.
Yeah.
And I think that makes the Greek food a little bit different, and I think makes it much more. And also the other thing, it's shared. You never see Greek people eating alone. It's very unusual. it's actually very similar to the Chinese when you
Yeah.
on the banqueting kind of thing
Yes.
where you've
Yep.
got 10 people around, and I love the plate in the middle that goes around.
Yep.
And you can pick up anything. We haven't learned that. We still have got to go and grab the salad from wherever the salad is. So what you'll do is on a table you'll have 20 different dishes.
Yep.
And also there's not this sense of first dish, starter, main course, dessert. That I learned when I left Greece.
Okay.
So everything's coming at the same time.
Everything is shared.
Primarily the cold cuisine is coming first. So the salad, tzatziki,
Yeah.
Reggiano salata, all of the salads are coming first. And then the main courses are coming. Everything's served. There's not a thing, oh, don't take a chip from my plate. You are not allowed to do that.
Okay.
When I went to England, that's the first thing that surprised me.
Yeah.
What? This is my plate, don't touch it. Everything is served, everything is kind of enjoyed. And everybody's invited. That's the other thing. Everybody's invited. Whether they know you or you don't know. If you're passing by, they'll say, and if someone is eating, they'll say the word is kopiaste. Kopiaste, which is a very, very specific word. They'll say, come and join. And it wouldn't be whether they know you, and they wouldn't invite you 3 weeks in advance like what we do here. You know, are you available for lunch in 3 weeks' time? They'll be, okay, I've cooked this, would you like to join?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the informal kind of bit that makes the Greek gastronomy and the cuisine being part of the, it's very human. It's not,
Yes.
it's not as elegant probably as the French or some of the other guys that are very meticulous in counting everything, but it's much more enjoyable, much more human, much more shared, and much more spiritual, if you like, in the way that everything comes together.
And very sociable.
And very sociable, absolutely. Pearl,
Yes.
I think we should close this in a nice way. So
I know.
You've been dealing with Greek food now for what?
Dealing with Greek food and also Greek professor.
Greek professor for
Yeah.
2 weeks now,
Yes.
since you came out of quarantine and everything.
I know.
So what really has come into your mind out of being exposed to Greek gastronomy?
I think it has been a fantastic journey for me, and I do learn a lot from many different well-known chefs from around the world, right, this time. And I cannot wait to go home to cook some Greek cuisine and then learn more about Greek cuisine and Greek culture. And I hope next time in the future I can visit Greeks very soon.
I'll tell you what, tonight when you go home, do tzatziki.
Okay, I will. I'm
Just
gonna go to wet market now.
Yeah. Tzatziki, it's very simple. A little bit of Greek yogurt,
Yeah, and cucumber.
cucumber. You
Lemon.
squash the cucumber so the water comes out.
Yeah.
You got garlic, as much garlic as you have got, and as much garlic as you can have.
Okay.
Olive oil.
Yeah.
Perfect. A little bit of salt, a lot of pepper. I like pepper.
Okay.
It's the best thing. You can have it with bread, you can have it with grills, you can have it with everything. It's absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
Michelle, now you're kind of more familiar with the Greek cuisine. What would you recommend to your restaurants, and what do you recommend to your customers?
I would recommend the Greek cuisine to everyone because it's also linked to the Mediterranean diet, where, of course, it has shown to have a lot of health benefits. For example, supporting of heart health, weight management, lowering of cholesterol, and a boost of our brain. So I hope to visit Greece one day to enjoy the food, the culture, and meet lovely people like you, Professor, there.
Thank you so much. It's fantastic to actually bring together so many colleagues and friends and create new friendships based on the gastronomy and based on the passion that we feel about not only for the food but also the culture and everything that comes together. I think in the next few months, where the Hong Kong Greek Gastronomy and Diet Festival will be playing as part of the Food and Wine Academy in the School of Hotel and Tourism Management in the Hong Kong Polytechnic University. We will showcase a lot of Greek food. We will taste some Greek food because we will be cooking in the bistro restaurant downstairs, and we will have the opportunity to hear from a lot of experts from Greece about Greek food and all the things that we're doing. We're also going to have the olive oil the dairy, yogurt, and cheese, and also the wine and beer workshops where people will have the opportunity to actually try some of these things. And hopefully, we'll find more of these products in Hong Kong and in places around. And also, more people will be motivated to cook some of these things at home. They can find some of the ingredients around. So, in the wet market, you can find octopus, you can find a lot of meats, a lot of fish. And it's really about looking to how you can incorporate the Greek cuisine, and they use more Greek ingredients and more simple ways. And most importantly, share it with your friends, share it with other people, and eat it, cook it with love, and eat it with love. I think that's the most important thing. And I look forward to introduce you the other chefs in the next films, but also to bring you the Hong Kong Polytechnic University and have a nice conversation, perhaps have a glass of wine or a little bit of Kalamata olive oil and enjoy what we're doing. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank
See you
you.
soon.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.